We all know the Sahara Desert as the largest hot desert on Earth, a vast ocean of sand stretching across North Africa. But what if I told you that beneath those dunes lie the remnants of ancient civilizations, advanced societies that thrived when the Sahara was lush and green? Doesn't make sense, does it? A desert that was once fertile. Cities buried under sand. Technology that shouldn't exist. Yet evidence of these impossibilities emerges constantly, discovered by archaeologists, explorers, and wind-swept storms that reveal what time tried to hide. Today, we're uncovering 7 of the most mysterious discoveries hidden in the Sahara Desert, and the secrets they whisper about humanity's forgotten past. The Richat structure, the Eye of the Sahara. In the heart of Mauritania, visible even from space, lies a geological formation so perfectly circular, so impossibly symmetrical, that it was once mistaken for an impact crater. The Richat structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, spans nearly 30 miles in diameter. From above, it looks like a giant bullseye carved into the earth, concentric rings of rock radiating outward from a central point. But here's what makes it extraordinary. It's not a crater. At first, scientists believed a meteor had struck the Sahara millions of years ago, leaving this massive scar. But when geologists studied the site up close, they found something else. The rocks were sedimentary, formed by erosion, not impact. The structure was created by the slow, patient work of wind and water, sculpting layers of sandstone, limestone, and dolomite into perfect circles. Or, so they say. The problem is no other natural formation on Earth looks like this. Erosion doesn't create perfect symmetry. It carves randomly, chaotically. Yet the Richat structure's rings are so precise they seem designed. Each layer is evenly spaced, each curve perfectly rounded. Some researchers have proposed that it's the result of a massive volcanic dome that collapsed and then eroded. But there's no volcanic rock at the site. No signs of ancient lava flows. Others believe it was once the center of a vast ancient city, one that predates all known civilizations. And the most controversial theory? That the Richat structure is the remains of Atlantis. In the 1990s, several researchers pointed out that the structure's measurements, its concentric rings, and even its location near the Atlantic Ocean match Plato's description of Atlantis almost exactly. Could the Eye of the Sahara be the lost city, buried not beneath the ocean, but beneath the sand? Mainstream science dismisses this theory, but it doesn't explain the structure's impossible perfection. And as the desert winds continue to erode the site, revealing more layers beneath, the question remains: was this truly shaped by nature alone? Or did human hands, ancient and forgotten, carve these rings into the earth? The Tassili, Niger cave paintings, evidence of a green Sahara. Deep in southeastern Algeria, high in the Tassili and Niger plateau, lies one of the most extensive collections of prehistoric rock art ever discovered. Over 15,000 paintings and engravings cover the walls of caves and rock shelters, some dating back over 12,000 years. But these aren't simple handprints or abstract shapes. They depict a world that shouldn't exist. The paintings show rivers, lakes, and lush vegetation. They depict hippos, crocodiles, elephants, and giraffes, animals that haven't lived in the Sahara for thousands of years. There are scenes of people fishing, hunting, and herding cattle across green pastures. One image shows a man in a boat paddling across what appears to be a vast body of water. These paintings prove that the Sahara was once fertile, a savanna teeming with life. But that's not the most mysterious part. Among the naturalistic depictions of animals and humans, there are other figures. Beings with large, round heads and no facial features. Figures wearing what look like helmets or spacesuits. Some are shown floating or flying. Others appear to be descending from the sky. One particularly famous painting, known as the Great Martian God, depicts a towering figure with an oval head, empty eyes, and a body covered in strange markings. Locals call these figures the round heads, and they've been the subject of intense debate for decades. Ancient astronaut theorists claim these are depictions of extraterrestrial visitors, evidence that advanced beings once walked the Sahara. Mainstream archaeologists argue they're shamanic visions, spiritual figures from ritual ceremonies, but neither explanation accounts for the consistency of the imagery. Why do so many different cultures, separated by thousands of years, depict the same strange figures? In the 1950s, French ethnologist Henri Hotte studied the site extensively and suggested the roundheads represented gods or spirits from a forgotten religion. But he also noted something unsettling. The figures' postures and proportions don't match any known human culture. They seem, in his words, otherworldly. To this day, the Tassili Najjar paintings remain one of the Sahara's greatest mysteries. They show us a desert that was once alive, and they hint at something else, something we may never fully understand. The Garamantes civilization, masters of underground water. In southwestern Libya, beneath the sands, archaeologists have uncovered the remnants of a civilization that shouldn't have survived. The Garamantes thrived in one of the harshest environments on Earth, a place where rain almost never falls, and surface water is non-existent. Yet they built cities, farmed crops, and sustained a population of tens of thousands for over a millennium. How? The answer lies beneath the ground. The Garamantes developed an advanced system of underground aqueducts called fogaras, tunnels that tapped into ancient aquifers deep below the desert. These weren't simple wells. The fogaras stretched for miles, interconnected networks that channeled water to the surface without evaporation. They required precise engineering, knowledge of hydrology, and a level of coordination that shouldn't have been possible for a civilization with no written records, no contact with Rome or Egypt, and no access to advanced tools. Satellite imaging has revealed over 600 miles of these tunnels, many of them still intact. But here's the mystery. The Garamantes didn't just survive, they thrived. They traded with Carthage, Rome, and sub-Saharan Africa. They mined precious stones and controlled vast trade routes. And then, around 600 after Christ, they vanished. The fogaras dried up. The cities were abandoned, and the Garamantes disappeared from history. What happened? Some researchers believe climate change caused the aquifers to run dry. Others suggest invasion or internal collapse. But the most puzzling question is how they built the fogaras in the first place. The tunnels are so deep, so extensive, that modern engineers struggle to explain how they were constructed without machinery. One theory suggests the Garamantes inherited the knowledge from an even older civilization, one that understood the desert's hidden water sources. But if that's true, who were they? And where did they go? The fogaras remain, silent tunnels beneath the sand, monuments to a people who mastered the impossible. Gobero, the cemetery that rewrites African history. In 2000, paleontologist Paul Sereno and his team were searching for dinosaur fossils in northern Niger when they stumbled upon something unexpected. Buried in the sand were human skeletons, hundreds of them, arranged in careful graves. This was Gobero, a massive prehistoric cemetery dating back over 10,000 years. What made this discovery so significant was the age and diversity of the burials. The site contained two distinct populations, separated by 1,000 years. The first group, known as the Kifian people, were tall, robust individuals who lived around 8,000 before Christ. The second group, the Tenarian people, were smaller, more graceful, and lived around 5,000 before Christ. Both groups were buried with care. Jewelry made from hippo tusks and fish bones adorned the bodies. Children were buried with toys. One grave contained a woman and 2 children, their hands intertwined, a final embrace preserved for millennia. These weren't primitive nomads. They were sophisticated societies with culture, art, and reverence for the dead. But here's the mystery. The Kifian people were among the tallest humans ever recorded, averaging over 6 feet tall at a time when most humans were much shorter. How did they achieve such stature in a harsh environment? And why did they disappear, only to be replaced by a completely different population 1,000 years later? The site also revealed something else. Gobero was once a lush oasis, fed by a vast lake that covered what is now barren desert. Pollen samples show that the area was home to acacia trees, grasses, and abundant wildlife. The Sahara was green, but around 5,000 years ago, the climate shifted, the rains stopped, the lake dried up, and the people of Gobero either migrated or perished. Gobero proves that the Sahara has cycles, periods of life followed by death, repeated over millennia. And it raises a haunting question. How many other civilizations have risen and fallen in the desert, their stories buried beneath the sand, the Ubari lakes, water in the wasteland? In the Libyan desert, where temperatures soar above 120 degrees Fahrenheit and rain is almost non-existent, there are lakes, not mirages. Real bodies of water, shimmering blue and impossibly out of place. These are the Ubari lakes, a series of ancient oases scattered across the sand dunes. At first glance, they seem like paradise. Palm trees line their shores. Reeds grow in the shallows. But something is wrong. The water is incredibly salty, far more saline than seawater. In some lakes, the salt concentration is so high that nothing can live in them. The water is toxic, a beautiful trap in the middle of the desert. The mystery is how they exist at all. The lakes are fed by underground aquifers, remnants of ancient rivers that once flowed when the Sahara was green, but those rivers dried up thousands of years ago. The water in the lakes today is fossil water, trapped underground for millennia, and it's running out. Scientists estimate that within a few decades, the Ubari lakes will disappear entirely, evaporated by the relentless sun. But there's something else strange about these lakes. Local legends speak of cities beneath the water, ruins of ancient civilizations that were flooded when the desert turned green again. Divers have explored some of the lakes and found carved stones, pottery fragments, and even submerged walls. Were these settlements built on the lake shore, only to be swallowed as water levels rose? Or do they predate the current lakes entirely, remnants of an even older time? The Ubari lakes are beautiful, mysterious, and dying. And with them, the secrets they hold may be lost forever. The White Desert, sculptures carved by wind or something else. In the western desert of Egypt lies one of the most surreal landscapes on Earth. The White Desert, a vast expanse of chalk rock formations shaped into towering sculptures. From a distance they look like ice, frozen waves of white stone rising from the sand. But up close, they reveal something far stranger. The formations are impossibly smooth, carved into shapes that defy natural erosion. There are mushrooms, spirals, arches, and even figures that resemble animals or human forms. Scientists say these were shaped by wind and sand over millions of years. But the precision of the carving suggests otherwise. One formation, known as the chicken and tree, looks exactly like a massive bird perched on a pedestal. Another resembles a sphinx, its face worn but still recognizable. Are these coincidences? Or did ancient people carve these shapes using the natural rock as a canvas? Local Bedouin tribes have stories about the White Desert. They say it was once a sacred place, where shamans performed rituals and communicated with spirits. Some believe the formations are not natural at all, but monuments left by a lost civilization. In recent years, archaeologists have found evidence of human activity in the area. Stone tools, fire pits, and carvings dating back over 8,000 years. But no one has found evidence of large-scale stonework. Yet the formations remain too perfect to be random, too deliberate to be entirely natural. The White Desert is a place where the line between nature and art blurs, where the past whispers through stone. The Caucasus Mountains, megaliths in the sand. In southwestern Libya, near the border with Algeria, rise the Caucasus Mountains, a rugged range of sandstone cliffs and deep valleys. Hidden among the rocks are megaliths, massive stone structures that predate written history. These aren't natural formations. They're arranged in circles, aligned with celestial events, and marked with symbols no one can fully translate. The most famous is the stone circle of Wadi Mathendis, a ring of standing stones, similar to Stonehenge, but far older. Carbon dating places it at over 7,000 years old, making it one of the oldest megalithic structures in the world. But here's the mystery. The stones are enormous, each weighing several tons, and they had to be transported from miles away across desert terrain. How did a prehistoric people with no wheels, no metal tools, and no pack animals move these stones? And why build a monument in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth? Some researchers believe the site was an astronomical observatory used to track the movements of the sun and stars. Others think it was a burial ground or a ceremonial center, but no one has found evidence of a large population in the area. It's as if the stones were placed there by a people who vanished without a trace. The Akakos Mountains also contain rock art, thousands of paintings depicting hunters, dancers, and strange symbols. Some of the figures are similar to those found in Tassili, Niger, suggesting a cultural connection across the Sahara. But who were these people? And why did they invest so much effort in building monuments that would outlast them by millennia? These 7 discoveries: the Richet structure, the Tassili Niger paintings, the Garamantes Fagaras, Gobero, the Ubari Lakes, the White Desert, and the Akakos megaliths, are only a fraction of what lies hidden beneath the Sahara. Every year, storms uncover new ruins, new artifacts, new questions. The desert is not empty. It's a graveyard of civilizations, a museum of human history buried under sanders. If you're fascinated by the mysteries of the Sahara, subscribe to see more impossible discoveries from the ancient world. Let us know in the comments which mystery haunts you most. And remember, the desert keeps its secrets. But sometimes, when the wind blows just right, it reveals them.